another episode of The Provocative Podcast. All right, so this episode is just something that I just really want to talk about. A lot of recent events just have not just personal to me, just like listening on the news, watching different podcasts, watching different shows and things like that have just put my gears going in my head. And I just really want to talk about this because I want to give you guys some insight in what it is and what the social media world is really like. And it's not really any knowledge I'm sharing with you guys. It's more of feeling and emotion. So I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. It's more of an insight for all of you who don't really do social media so that you guys can see what it's really like in a person's world. But first, before we get into today's topic, let's do the intro as always. So, shoulder's better. I just kind of want to give it a quick intro to that. The impingement's gotten better. I've had to do my exercises. I've had to do all the icing. I went and saw someone again today to help release it. My bicep is just so knotted up, guys. And I have been neglecting upper body because I don't want to tighten the muscle, but somehow it's still tight. So we need to find the reason behind why my bicep is so tight, basically. But it's doing better. So I'm thankful for that. All right. So second thing, the race. So the 5K that I signed up for is at the end of the month. As many of you guys know, I told you that if you guys wanted to run it here in Houston, to DM me and I would send you the link. So if you did sign up, and you guys probably know by now that they changed the race to a virtual race, which sucks so bad. I'm so disappointed because the whole purpose of me racing was because I wanted that experience of, hey, I'm going to go and race and I'm going to have all the people, everyone watching, and you kind of have to you can't walk because people are watching and the hype and everything. But now that it's a virtual race, it just kind of sucks. And it sucks for you girls that signed up to do it with me, because it was a chance for you guys to not only meet me if you haven't, but get to spend some time together, chit chat afterwards and stuff. But since it is going to be virtual now, I, was let me just still do it. I still want to run that 5K. So what I'm thinking is, if you did sign up and you would like to still get together, or if you didn't sign up and you would like to get together and run this race or run the 5Ks, it's going to be more of a jog. Okay. It's going to be more of a jog because your girl hasn't been running. And just, jog the 5K. There's a park here in Sugar Land that's awesome for us to run at. We can do the full 5K. I can put it on my watch, and then we could have, I was thinking a little meet and greet afterwards, a little picnic, something nice for us to just kind of chit chat and talk together afterwards. So if it's something that interests you, or you would, you did sign up for the race and you want to come and run with me, please DM me, because I would kind of like to have a head count in case I do something for you girls. I would love to have a head count of who would all be willing to come, or who is all going to be able to attend. So keep me updated. DM me at _JazzyFit if you haven't, or you can DM the Provocative page as well. I'll respond there. But that's the update for the race. And then third, I'm almost done. I'm 100 pages away from finishing the book, guys. I didn't really read a lot last week. I read so hard for a week. I put in 2 to 3 hours every day when I'm reading, and then I take a week off reading, and then I'm back to reading again, and I'm almost done. I'm 100 pages away from finishing The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The book is just so great. As a female, it's very empowering in a way. I haven't finished it, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about her at the end, because there's a mystery at the end, but so far, she has done everything that I wish sometimes I could be, and a little bit more ruthless, a little bit more, about myself and putting myself first and my needs first. And that is not always the nicest thing to do, or, the nicest thing to do in the world's eyes. But for her, it's what she needed to do in order to survive. And what I mean is survive socially, survive amongst people, and not get, chewed up and spit out. And it's just, it ties into a little bit of what I'm talking about today. And yeah, so I just really recommend that book. It's a great book. So almost done with it. But today's episode is going to be about, social media and what it's like to really be an influencer, not for just someone like myself, but for people who have millions and millions of followers, young, whether they're young or whether they're old, like it affects everyone the same way. And I don't want you girls or guys, if you're listening, to think that I'm over here trying to be like, oh, poor influencers, they have such a hard life, and like feel pity. That is not what I'm trying to do at all. What I'm trying to do is just spread light, because there's just, guys, there's so much hate in the world, like so much hate. And I know we're entitled to feel the way that we want to feel, but like there's just so much unnecessary hate in the world, and it is all based on who you like, right? You hate on the people you don't like and you applaud the people that you do like without even really knowing who you are applauding for or who you're, hating on. Like you have no idea. People have no idea. And if I say you, I don't necessarily mean you, the person that's listening to this. I just mean society as a whole. So I just want to clear that up. So I was listening to this interview last week, and she made such a good point on what it's really like to be in the spotlight all the time. And so, we've talked about how social media can be fake, right? There's a lot of fake things on social media. I know that there's a lot of people who have given social media a bad rep and Photoshop the hell out of their pictures, and they post their best angles, which we've talked about. Who's not going to post their best angles? If you're posting on Instagram, it's because if you're posting a picture on Instagram, it's because you like the way that you look, right? You like how your hair looked. You liked how your teeth looked. You liked how, you looked in that angle. You're not going to post a picture if you don't like the way that you look, right? It's going to be the best version of yourself, because that's what you want to put out in the world. And that's what you want to think that you look like. And that is what you look like, right? But it's just one angle of you. And so I feel like a lot of the times, though, we discredit people and we think that everything that someone is posting is fake, when in all reality, it's not always fake. It's just dependent on the angle of that person or the time of day that person posted, or, just different things. And so I don't want, I hate that everyone thinks that everything that everyone posts is fake, because that's so untrue. What I post is what I look like, what's going on in my life. I thankfully have not gotten to the point where I ever feel the need to be fake on social media. I will talk about what I'm feeling like at the end of this episode, so you guys it's a little bit different, but there's a lot of people who do feel the pressure to be someone they're not because of social media. And that really, really sucks. And that's what makes it seem like, social media is fake because, her relationship is really not like that, or she doesn't really look like that. But in all reality, it's not always. It's not the case for everyone. So I want you guys to keep that in mind the next time that you guys are trying to, be mean on social media or judge someone, based on what they look like at that time of the day, that it's not always fake. And this girl in this interview was talking about how, in the morning, she would work out and she would look her best, right? Because in the morning is when I feel my best too. For me, it's after spin. That's when my stomach is like the flattest. And that's when I post my stories, right? Because that's when my abs are fucking ridiculous and I love the way that I look. And so that's when I post my stories too. So she was saying how she would take a picture at the gym and she loved the way that she looked. And then, she looked flat, her abs were popping. And then she would go get a smoothie, sit down, drink the smoothie, and all of us girls know the instant you drink water or you eat anything, and I mean anything, it could be the healthiest thing, you just naturally bloat, right? And if you're not eating the healthiest thing, all hell breaks loose, because then you look like you're 6 months pregnant, right? It's just it's normal. It's part of your body, right? It goes down. But she was saying how she would drink a smoothie and someone would take a photo of her without looking. And it could be of her just sitting down after drinking the smoothie. She's got a little belly roll, right? Or she's got a little bloat. And people would be like, oh, she photoshopped that picture she just posted this morning because look, this is what she truly looks like now. And she would be like, no, like people are trying to discredit the way that I look because of the angle or because I ate something. And it sucks because I don't Photoshop my photos, and because I do look that certain way. Now all of it is discredited over the time of day that photo was taken and the angle that photo was taken. So, I think that's so harsh. And I know that I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of it with myself. Like I would never take a naked selfie of myself at like 10 p.m. at night. Hell no, because I don't look like that. That's not what I normally look like. That's after 5-6 meals, after I've had my biggest meal, because I save all my carbs at night because I love eating my carbs at night, and drinking almost a gallon of water, right? Like, I'm not going to do that. And it sucks that you get discredited if, thankfully, I'm not in the limelight like that where every single angle is taken of me, but she is. And it just sucks. And it made me think about how I know everyone who's listening to this has seen at least one girl or follows one girl who has posted a photo of herself in the morning side by side to what she looks like at like 5 p.m. And all the comments are always like, oh girl, I'm so glad you're sharing this. This is what we really look like. This is what we should be doing. And that girl, yeah, she's posting it to share, like, and to be like, hey, yeah, I look like this in the morning, but I also look like this at 5 p.m. And we applaud that. Why can't you applaud that the other girl? Why can't you like think about that the next time you're thinking about, well, oh, look at her, it's her, she just did it for her angle. And it's like, well, she's a fucking human being too. Like, she's gonna post at her best angle, but then a few hours later, she is gonna look bloated. And that's what would happen to you too. But I think it's so cruel how our first instinct is to judge and to criticize. And some of us, thankfully, we're not the type to, leave comments and leave any hate. But there's so many people that that's their first instinct to do, is to just call them out and be like, oh, like, that's not what she really looks like. And I know it's a reflection of how they feel inside and how they're not confident in themselves, but it just sucks. So a part of me, like, I was thinking about that because I do it. I'm the same way. I wouldn't like I said, I would not post a picture of myself at 10 p.m. at night because like half naked, because I know that that's not the best angle for me. And she was just talking about that. And, I feel like nowadays, like, you cannot fat shame. And if you do, obviously you're a horrible person, but there's no way anyone can get away with fat shaming. But we still shame people who look good. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, we don't want to give them credit. We want to shame people who look good, but it doesn't make sense to me. You can't fat shame. And I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying you can't fat shame, but you can shame someone who looks good. It just doesn't make sense what this society has gone to. And it sucks that it's all based on jealousy and insecurity and what that person's feeling inside. But just like you're shaming someone for being overweight, you're shaming someone for working so hard on their bodies, which that shouldn't be the case either. And, she was talking about how, with social media, and I felt like this a lot, you're condemned if you share, and you're also condemned if you don't. If you share your story or you share certain things, people are going to go after you and hate on you. And if you don't share about it, then, oh, she's hiding it. For example, nowadays, it's acceptable to have your breasts done, right? It's super acceptable to have your breasts done. There's, one or two Karens that will comment, be like, why are you getting a boob job? Like, you should love your body in all shapes and forms. There's still people like that, right? And that's just their opinion. But, now I feel like it's more acceptable to get your boobs done. Whereas your butt, that's still a big, big no-no, right? Like, I know we've all seen the TikToks. We've all seen girls with fake butts, the Kardashians. Like, everyone criticizes people who have their butt done, right? So a lot of the times what will end up happening is that they won't share that they got their butt done, right? Because one, they don't want to get shit for it. They don't want to be like, why did you get it done? And have to give an explanation as to why they got it done. Two, they don't want to discredit any work they do after that, because everything that is done after that will be considered fake. And I'm going to be real and transparent with you guys. I, for a long time, considered getting my butt done because, and this was like 2 years ago, I was like, I really am tired. Like, my butt's just genetically not fucking getting any bigger. Like, I'm so tired. Like, I really want to get my butt done. And one of the reasons that I didn't get it done, even though I was so ready, I was like, I'm going to start looking at doctors, I really want to do it, was because, Chris and I sat down and first of all, I didn't want to get anything that looked crazy fake. But secondly, he's like, you do realize that, you're not just any influencer, you're a fitness influencer, right? So people look up to you because of your hard work and because you work out. If you get your butt done, and you share about it, because I know you're the type of person that would want to share your journey and process. Everything that you do from here on out will be discredited. Every single thing you do will be discredited. You look flat in your stomach, they're gonna assume that you got a lipo. They're gonna assume that you did all sorts of things, even to your face. He's like, everything that you do from here on out will be discredited. And that was like a big reality check for me, because I'm like, you're right. Like, if you share about it, people will discredit everything that you do from that moment on, and they're going to give you more grief. And if you don't share about it, then you're condemned for not sharing about it. Then you're like, well, you're setting unrealistic expectations to people. This is not what normal people look like, which is all very true, right? I'm just, stating. But it makes it so hard for influencers to share, because it's like I said, they share and then they're still going to get shit. And if they don't share, they're continuously getting shit. So like she was saying, she has her butt done, that, she still to this day gets shit for getting her butt done. And she understands it. She knows it's part of the process. She's been open about her surgeries, but she knows that she still to this day gets shit on it. And, she made a good point on the fact that we're kind of condemned on like what we do. And sometimes what we do is just based on trends and what we're feeling at that moment. Like she was stating, she got her butt done because that's what was in at the time. That was what she wanted when she was that age. And that's what was popular. And like now looking back, she doesn't regret it, but things are different now. Like if she had the option now, she probably wouldn't have gotten as big, right? Or she would have done things a different way. And it does make sense. Like everyone, we hold people to the standard, and then we think that they're not allowed to change their minds. And I'm guilty on this, because I do it all the time. I'm like, well, they said that they would never do such and such and such. And then Chris is like, yeah, but that was like a year ago, Jasmine. People change. People's opinions change. And you're not always going to think what is cool at the moment is always going to be cool, or what sucks at the moment is always going to suck. Like your opinion is always going to change depending on the trends or what's going on in your life. And that's very true. And so, she just made that a point. Like, and I think with influencers is part of it. Like, look how, like, if it just takes one trend to pop off on TikTok, on Instagram, and then everyone is doing it, right? And so for her, she was just saying like, the trend was to get a big butt. And now if she would have decided that now, the things would have been different. But that all that put a different perspective in the way that I was thinking things too. Cause I'm like, damn, that makes a lot of sense, because, who I was 2-3 years ago and who I am now, I'm very completely different. And what I like versus what I don't like changes. It honestly changes monthly. So we can't just hold people based onto what they used to like or what they've said in the past, because people do change. But anyways, that's just like a little side note of like, how she explained things. And, but it just sucks that we're like, not, and I don't mean like just me, but like all influence, everything you do, you're like criticized. And so, like, I feel like sometimes with me, like people want me to share more, and the more I share, sometimes the more shit I get. Like, for instance, I'm like, I'm going to go on my stories and I'm going to post, I literally post like right after my spin, because I want you girls to like look at like see what it's like after I do spin. My hair is all sweaty. I'm like, my face is all puffied up because, all my blood is in my face from like spin, and like my hair is a mess. And instead of like, I know I get a lot of nice comments, but there's still girls who'll be like, oh, there was this one girl that was like, oh girl, I don't know how you do it, but you make under eye bags look so good. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, why would you say that to me? Why would anyone say that to me? And so it makes it really hard for influencers to show what they look like. And it makes it hard for us not to want to be perfect all the time. And, it's crazy because, like I told you guys, due to recent events, I was just watching the D'Amelio show, and she did an episode with Vogue, Dixie did. And before we got to that part in the episode where she was crying, I was watching, like, it showed little snippets of the Vogue, and I, as an influencer, looked at her because she was like, hey guys, I'm making breakfast, and she looked like a hot mess. Had her hair in a bun, and I was like, damn, that's really cool of her to go on looking like that. Like, I was thinking this, right? This is in my thoughts as this is going on. And then the episode is playing and then she's like bawling, and you find out that she's bawling because people are making fun of her because she looks that way. And she's like, I had literally just come from the gym. I'm all sweaty and I'm like so happy to be making breakfast on Vogue and like sharing like my day to day, because that's what they were doing. They were following her throughout the day, and people are going to pick you apart because you don't look perfect. Yet society is like, oh, perfection isn't real, but yet you have to be perfect in the eyes of them. It like doesn't make fucking sense. And it made me feel sympathy for her because she is so much younger. You know, I'm 27 and it still gets to me. I was like, oh my God, how old am I? I'm 27 and it still gets to me. I can't imagine someone her age getting all the shit and all the hate that she gets. Like, it sucks. And, you know, you could be like, well, this is the path that you chose. Yeah, we chose to be influencers, but we didn't choose for people to be hating on us. You would have chosen that life too if you had the choice, and you still wouldn't have wanted to get hate on. No one wants to get hate on. Literally, I would assume that 80% of the people who hate would never ever share any photos of themselves that didn't look good, or even go on their stories and talk on their stories, like, because they are insecure. And so it pisses me off that they still have room to say something negative. And, you know, like for me, like I said, like it's hard because, you know, I try to do my best to be as real as I can with you guys, but the older I'm getting, the more I'm like shutting off on my stories, because it's like, I'm just tired of getting criticized for every fucking little thing that I do. Like every little thing that and with the podcast, I knew it was going to be worse like, to be honest with the podcast, I don't care. You know, I love that I have a platform to speak. Yes, I find myself that I do have to be really careful with the words that I choose because I get picked apart, but I love that I have this platform. But with Instagram, it's like everybody wants to pick you apart. And you know, there was this one time that this girl was like, I didn't know you had a scar underneath your chin. And I was like, what are you talking about? I had no idea I had a scar underneath my chin. And I looked up close in the mirror and Chris was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, like she said that I have a scar. And we looked in the mirror and I did. And it's like she was picking out my flaws that I hadn't even picked out. Like I didn't even know that I had that. And it just, it just sucks that that's the way that society is. And, the whole purpose of this, of me talking about this isn't for you guys, like I said, to feel sorry, but to be kinder, be fucking kinder to people who are willing to put their lives out there for you, who are willing to share their parts of their life. Like, yeah, I understand that some of them are like flaunting and it's all glam and everything like that. So what? Let them live their life. Like, you do you, but it just sucks. It comes back to like, there's been times like for the girl that I'm talking about, she was like, I got shitty lip filler. I felt shitty about my lip filler. I know I looked horrible. And so I didn't really want to post stories because I knew people were going to shit on me about it. And they did. And I obviously got it fixed. But she's like, how sad is that? Like, you would never tell your friend, like, even though like they know that they're over. It's like, let me start over. If your friend was overweight, they gained like 10 pounds. What type of person are you if you are like, hey, you got fat, you gained 10 more pounds? Do you not think that person knows that they gained 10 pounds? Yeah, that person knows that they gained 10 pounds. You telling them that they gained 10 pounds in that tone is not going to do anything but make them feel worse about themselves. And that's what she was saying. She's like, I knew that my lip filler was shitty. Like, I told them my lip filler is shitty. I'm getting it fixed. And yet people are still trying to make me feel worse about it. Like, it sucks that society wants to just continuously make you feel worse about things. But I just wanted to share, like, light in that. For me personally, recently, like, it was about wearing makeup to the gym. I'm like, it's 2022. Can we just stop giving girls shit about wearing makeup to the gym if they want to wear makeup to the gym? Like, the gym right now, especially with Chris's prep, is the only place that I go to. Like, the only place. I've been so bored because we're not doing anything on the weekends and I feel bad leaving him. First of all, I'm not the type of girl that like parties and leaves my husband. Like, you'll never see me out like at a bar by myself. Like, I just won't do that. And so like the most thing that I do is like go out to dinners, but I haven't had like dinners with my friends that much recently. And so I haven't gone out like at all. And my with my values, I really value going out to eat and going to, brunch and like everything. I know it revolves around food, but it does. And so I miss that part and I haven't gotten dressed. And so, we haven't gotten on a date. And so the only place that I really get dressed up for is the podcast, which not really dressed up, but I do my makeup and my hair, and then I'll go to the gym. I'm not going to go and take off my makeup just to make someone else feel like better. Like, why does it matter to anyone if I want to wear makeup to the gym? I'm personally not the type of person that sweats a lot unless it's like 90 degrees outside in Houston and I'm working out in a warehouse gym. I'm not going to sweat. Like, I just don't, And so if that's the case, then I won't wear makeup that day. Once it gets hotter, I try like my best not to wear makeup just because I'm sweating so much and it looks disgusting. But right now that I'm not sweating that much, like, what is so wrong? Like that, what's so wrong about me wanting to wear makeup to the gym? Makeup has never broken me out when I sweat. So it's never been an issue for me, thankfully. So if it's not an issue for me, why is anyone concerned about it? Why is society trying to make me feel bad about wearing makeup to the gym? Like, my makeup is not determining how hard I work in the gym or how hard I'm pushing myself at all. It's almost like when I tell my clients to go buy new gym clothes so that you can feel good about yourself. Because when you look good in the gym, it radiates. You have more confidence. You want to work harder. And it's the same with me. When I'm feeling shitty about myself and I'm on my period, a big ass t-shirt is coming on, like black leggings, my socks don't match, and the energy's there. You can tell that I'm not feeling it. My face says it all. If you see me in the gym, like my face says, like, don't talk to me. Like I'm here just to do work, and then I'm like leaving. And I don't feel good those days. Like, I don't post about it. I don't feel confident those days. And when I do like dress up nice to the gym and I wear my dark sport and I wear the clothes that I love, it radiates that confidence, and I feel like it attracts better energy, more positive energy. And that's the way that I feel with makeup. Like, I like doing my makeup. Sometimes like today it is a little bit more glam, so I'll be looking more glam to the gym, but that's okay. And some days I'll just put on tinted moisturizer. But who are we to judge what people want to do? Like, if someone wants to wear makeup to the gym, just let them be. Like, and recently I found myself getting judged for that. And what I was saying is, like, I've always tried to be as real as I can on social media about who I am as a person. But recently, because I'm trying to grow my TikTok and I'm trying to grow, and I've been so focused on the numbers, which completely suck. And that's my advice to you guys. Like, if you're trying to grow your social media, stop focusing on the numbers, because you're going to end up stressing yourself out. Like, I've just been stressing myself out so much, and it's been making me so unhappy. And I feel like that's all I've been so focused on, that like, I'm like trying to change who I am to attract different people. And that's not anyone I ever wanted to be. And, I was like, okay, like, I need to be more relatable on social media. I need to be more relatable, which means I need to look more simple, right? I need to act like I don't have my life together. And sometimes, like, and I mean act, because to be honest, guys, 80% of the time I have my shit together. I'm a fucking Virgo, like perfectionist. My house looks like a fucking restoration hardware magazine. Like, it looks like that. That's the way I like it to be. 9 times out of 10, my house will be fucking spotless clean. I am a perfectionist, and it goes with everything. I'm super organized. I like to be organized with myself. Like, yeah, I have my days where I'm like, like hair bun up, I just stay home. But 90% of the time I'm put together. My life is put together. So I was feeling like, okay, people can't relate to me because society as a whole is not really well put together. So what I need to do is dim, quote unquote, my light and be less perfectionist and be like more relatable to people in order to get more followers and in order for people to like me more. And I was like, and I was doing that without realizing that. And then last week, I sat down with my friends and I was like, I literally was like at the gym and about to cry because I was having like a moment. And I'm like, I'm so tired. I was like, I'm so tired of like not knowing who I am because I think I'm trying to be someone I'm not. And they're like, there's no reason why you have to. Yeah, you can be more relatable in the sense, like, if you are not, like, if you just came home from spin, go on in your stories and talk if you want to talk. But if you want to wait till you're all glammed up, that's fine too. That's why you have your platform. You're able to do whatever you want. And the people that will want to follow you and support you will follow you and support you. And my friend said it herself. She's like, one of the things that I loved about you before I met you, because I loved following you, was I loved how well put together your life seems like. And she's like, and it is. She's like, and now that I'm your friend, you've inspired me and motivated me to want to be girlier, to want to dress up, to want to do my makeup, to take care of my skin. She's like, I love that. And that's the type of women you are going to attract. You don't have to dim your light or try to be less put together or try to look grungier at the gym and look like, like ugly bun, no hairdo, no makeup to attract a different crowd. She's like, you're going to attract the women and the men, obviously, that want to be like you, that love your energy, that love the put togetherness that you have. And when she said that to me, I felt like I could actually breathe. And I was like, oh my God, I'm about to start crying, because that's what I feel like I've needed to hear for like months now, because I feel like I was just trying to be someone I'm not, and I've never wanted that. But, I was doing it because I wanted to be more relatable. But, I'm not going to dim my light in order to get different supporters, different following. I want, the people who listen to me, the people who watch me, the people who use my codes and support me, I want them to like me for who I am, right? And this is not me saying like tooting my horn and saying, oh, she thinks she's perfect, because I'm not. I'm not perfect, guys. But I try to be. I love how organized I am. That's one of the traits I love about myself. I love how clean I am. That's another thing I love about myself. I love that I want my house to look like fucking restoration, like how clean and organized it looks. It's one of my best traits. I love that about myself. And I was, trying to put myself and be messier and I don't know, more disorganized, because I felt like that's what I needed to attract. And when in reality, that's not the case. What I will try doing more of is being more relatable, like doing a little bit more of like when my hair is a little bit messier, when I've come back from spin, recording more there, not using as many filters on Instagram, because this is one thing that Chris does get on to me about. He does say like, you need to do a better job of not using filters on Instagram. And although I do agree with him, I think he does make a good point there, but I also like the filters, like it's not like me thinking that, oh, because without the filter, I don't look the same. Like, yeah, the filter might, highlight my nose a little bit more, make it a little bit more narrow, which I like, right? And in person, my nose may not be as narrow, but that doesn't mean that just because I use a filter, I don't think I'm beautiful. I do think I'm beautiful. I think I'm, what you get on social media is what you see in person. Like I said, the only difference with a filter is like my nose is more snatched, but I could do a better job of not using the filters all the time, but that's not me. I also told him, I don't want you trying to make me feel bad for using those filters, because who doesn't want to use the filters? Who doesn't, if it makes them feel better, why not? Do whatever it is that makes you feel better. But yeah, guys, that's like today's topic. I just wanted to like shed some light on that and what influencers go through. And like, it just sucks because, you're behind your phone and you can comment and you live your life without being judged every single moment. And yeah, you may be getting judged by your family, which everyone does. Everyone gets judged by their family, their friends. But imagine having so many other eyes on you, and like not just supporters. Like I have companies looking at me on my, like the companies that I work with, I have to make sure that I represent them in the best way possible. And so, yeah, guys, I just wanted to share some light into like recent events, that podcast that I listened to, and, like just things that I was listening to, because, the media, yeah, like I said, not everything is real. There's some things that are fake, the media wants to, say things the way that it's going to benefit them. People want to say things the way that it's going to benefit them, but that does not mean that everyone on social media is fake. And just because, they don't look the same as they did that morning does not mean that that's not who they are. People change. People, drink fucking water. They're human. And I just wanted to share some light into that. I hope, this resonated with you, or at least made you think. That's the whole purpose of this podcast. Someone said the other day, they commented and was like, this topic has nothing to do with the name. The name provocative does not mean just sex, right? And I've said that before. I love the word provocative. The reason I chose it though was to provoke thought. That is a meaning of provocative. What I want you to take from my podcast is something new. I want you to question your thinking. I want that first little thought in your brain that's like, oh no, she's wrong. I want you to fucking question that. And I want you to be like, wait, is it Am I saying that she's wrong because of something that I'm feeling internally? Like, let me think about this way logically. That's what I want. I want my podcast to challenge your way of thinking. And it's not just about sex. So I just wanted to clear that up. And that's the whole purpose of today's episode, is to provoke thought, to make you guys think next time you guys are going to leave not you guys, because I would hope that if you're listening, you're not going to leave a negative comment, but to be more kind and to think about, everything that other people are also going through. So, oops, I just hit the mic. Yeah, guys, like I said, do not forget to DM me if you did sign up for the race, because like I said, I would like for us to get together. I think it would be fun. Also, I will be doing a giveaway on my page, on my personal page, _Jazzy Fit. I'm going to be giving away an Apple Watch. Yes, ladies, an Apple Watch. For guys too, if you want to, sign up for your lady, or if you want to get it for yourself, it's going to be on my page. So it's going to be a big, big giveaway. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate all the support I've gotten from you guys. Please share on your stories. I always repost. If you tag me, I'm always going to repost, because you guys don't understand how much I appreciate you guys sharing. And when you guys DM me and share like how my episodes have resonated with you guys, it means so much to me. And it just makes me feel so good. It makes me feel like I'm on the right path, because for a little while I was like, I don't even know if people really enjoy my podcast. And now the more that I do them, which I love, and the more comments and DMs that I get, it makes me feel good, because it makes me feel like I'm helping you guys in some way. So yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys if you guys have listened to the end and have supported me thus far. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye.